Fuck him. Right, let's hit that loud, motherfuckers. I think we're bang on time. Because we're right on time. I think we're right on time.
I think we are.
We are bang on. Bang on.
Hey, it's Sunday, so I'm not here at all, man. So
let's move that now. Hey, I drunk some of that, that purple gear that you gave me, the Latvian Thunder.
It's good, right?
Yeah. I went to a mate of mine the other day. I gave him some. I said, check this out.
I gave like 3 bottles. I took 3 bottles to Dubai and I gave it to, everyone just tried it. And at the end, Adam Silver was like, I'm like, Adam, I have 1 bottle left. Do you want some? He's like, fuck yeah, man. Fuck
it's
yeah.
Ferocious gear. That is absolutely ferocious gear. With Rob Vigent Jr. in the motherfucking house.
RVJ. And he's gone.
He accidentally, that was like a flying visit. We don't know who's coming in tonight, incidentally.
Yeah.
Not a clue. We could have anybody in here. So we'll see. But at the end of the day, myself and Rolly are in. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Fix 143.
143.
143 episodes.
Hey.
Sunday Night Fix, ladies and gentlemen. It says, invite Devon Larratt. I love AOC with a super chat. Invite Devon Larratt and Hermes Gasparini.
My friend.
No, my friend. Ubius. Didn't they have like the International Open event either yesterday or today?
Where?
At,
Italy, Super Match Italy. It's today and yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, not just a fat face.
Hey, the funny part was I posted like a story on Instagram where it's like deep winter in Latvia. Like for no freaking reason, we have a lot of snow. Mm-hmm. And I get a message from Hermes Gasparini. And Hermes is just like, it's literally, my friend is better in Dubai. I'm like, yeah.
Look at Rob. He's got frigging sunshades on. It's going down.
I'm in the car and there's a little bit of a glare coming in, but it is cold up here still.
You're messing with my qualm there, Rob, because you're sideways on. You're like,
yeah, I thought so. Let me see.
What's going on? You've not got your auto. Hey.
No, I don't got that auto shit on. I just clicked an emergency phone call trying to clip this thing into this little stick holder and I got all jacked up.
So, Silky Wilkie, what a legend. Flying in with a super chat. Silky Wilkie, thanks, mate. Biggity bong, mother fluffer. He's put ready bang. Hello, Neil and Ray and RVJ. He was a poet and didn't know it. Good day to you all. If you could, Neil, can you ask a few of the athletes when they come on to talk about the bone line and how to exploit or protect it? Cheers, mate. We did a series.
Are we talking about this bone line?
Not the jawline, baby. The bone line.
Yeah, I think me, you, and RVJ, we all hit the lottery there, so it's fine.
One of my favorite ever arm wrestlers, a guy called Svetan Gashevsky, was the king of the bone line and exposing the bone line. He hit you so hard to the side before he hit his real move. He threw precursory moves to the bone line and then would adjust. And oh my God, it was effective. I think it's an incredibly underrated technique in the sport. I really do. I think guys that can bone line really well. It takes a great deal of bravery and a great deal of speed, a great deal of courage. But when you get it nailed, it's a great technique. It really is. And there's a lot of it, used in just general timing. I mean, just so you guys know who are in the chat, who aren't already aware of it, if you are looking to get into any kind of arm wrestling technique in real depth, there's not many places where it's broken down better and more fluidly than at the Voice of Arm Wrestling. Ray has done, I think you've covered pretty much everything, haven't you, mate?
We did a lot of stuff, yeah.
Yeah, a massive amount of stuff. So I know a lot of the guys that we get into the Fix are pretty hardcore fans, but for those of you who aren't, or if you just need a little bit of a brush up, I'd go on there. If I got back into pulling, I'd go on there and just check things out again, just to brush you back up. It's good to get in there and just push all that info back in. Always good to spec.
Hey, someone just said my hairline is looking thin.
Oh shit!
Yeah, weird, right?
True.
The internet is an evil place. It's a harsh reality, the internet.
Tell you what, mate, you go bald before you're 15. What chance have you got? Just saying. You know what I mean? I'm 50 years old. Look at me.
Hey, and that's my dad. Okay. So.
Yeah. So you're all right. No risk of going bald there. All you'll do is you'll go grey, and you'll have like a grey patch and that.
I can't wait till I get grey hair. I think I would look excellent with grey hair.
No, you don't need that.
He's going for the Clooney. Yeah, he wants to be like George.
Have you got any grey hairs, Rob?
No, I'm actually kicking pretty strong. I mean, I might have one or two, but my barber even says I'm for being in my 40s, I don't really have any grays.
Oh, you wanker.
I should though. I mean, I got 5 kids and an ex that's trying to ruin my life. But
I know you need more stress in your life, really.
Yeah, I need more stress.
you need more stress. You need more stress in your life. Notice that Sandris, a sort of like precursor move, he's made himself bald, so that when he does get into fights with Pradeep, he doesn't give a shit.
Oh my God.
Grey. There's no grey.
Yeah, Sanders is in the boat I was in like a year and a half ago with Pradeep, where you just try to make a little bit of a kind of respectful, but like stay in your lane thing and stay in your lane. And all of a sudden he comes back hitting with all these like, holy shit videos. And I mean, you could be on 2 different planes. I watched Sanders' video today and I was like, all right, now I'm picking up what you're throwing down. I've been there, dude.
I haven't watched them in detail, but I may do that. But the funny thing is, there's so much negativity around. I'm just going to put it out there, right? At the moment, I think people need to concentrate on more on arm wrestling than on the drama surrounding arm wrestling. There's so much more good arm wrestling going on that you can focus on rather than all the stuff that surrounds it. And I think sometimes it gets lost in the mist. Maybe it's just people like the drama. At the end of the day, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's the target audience. I think that the more it grows and the more drama there is, the people that subscribe to that, you're feeding them what they want. They subscribe for the drama as opposed to the actual arm wrestling for a lot of it. You know, it's kind of the direction it's going. And if it keeps getting views, it supports the case.
So I'm just noticing while you're talking to us here, Rob, you're out on the family run today. Now, myself and Ray, not been into your family life thing yet at this stage. And I think it's good for myself, Ray, and all the viewers to understand a little bit about that. Obviously, I know that you've got quite a few kids. In fact, for those people in the chat that don't know Rob, he's got quite a lot of kids. So many that you'd think his ears would be longer. But up there in the video, what is it you're driving there? Because from my perspective on this camera, it looks like it's the longest car in the fucking world. How many
it's a minivan, bro. It's a minivan. And I'm actually a passenger. Heather's inside BJ's getting doing a little meat run for dinner tonight. So I'm in the parking lot while we're on the way home. So she's doing the food order real quick. But it's a minivan. But I can tell you what, all these moms and cool guys get scared to drive a minivan when they're older, but they're pimped out now. Like they got TVs in them, they got captain's chairs, they're leathered up, they fit adults. You don't have to crawl back of them like an SUV. So I would rock a minivan even if I was a 20-year-old guy now.
Yeah,
I never gave a shit.
I'm a minivan guy. Some of them, like you say, are amazing. But in the States, you've got everything's bigger in the States. Not everything, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of things, cars are definitely bigger. I'm a big fan of trucks over there.
Yeah, I got a big truck, and we got the van because we've got a bunch of kids, and a bunch of kids come with a bunch of sporting equipment and groceries and beach shit, and whatever time of year it is, you got a lot of it. So you got to tote it around.
Holy shit. So, as Engin, look at now, here we go. That's balanced it out, you see? Because Engin's come on. Motherfucker's greater than me. Yeah, actually, he's not. He's about the same looking at you, Engin. Just turn sideways on, mate. Just turn sideways, Engin. Turn your head sideways like that. He's not having it, is he? Come on, Engin. Turn your head, son. Let's have a look. Look at this. Gray. Engin's matching me.
Yeah, but it's a rite of passage, isn't it?
What can I say?
Some people never get to get Gray, right?
Big announcements. RVJ back in Engin's gig. Only person missing off that card is Rolly Ray. Let's get him on it.
I don't want to.
What do you mean you don't want it?
I will pull the tournament day before. I guarantee you that.
So you're going out there, Ray, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely darts. Engin, you've got RVJ back in the mix, son.
Yes.
Hey? Oh, what's about it? And what a match. Come on, Engin, come flying in with, for people who don't know, tell them what's going down at East versus West. Who have you got?
They don't know?
I don't know. They might. This is it. Big reveal. For those who don't know, let's go for it.
Oh, okay. I thought the whole community knows that. He's gonna.
Well, I a couple of weeks ago, I thought that the whole community knew that I wasn't that bad a guy. Turns out, 95% of them thought I was a cunt.
So fucking snake oil salesman. Yeah. Fucking snake oil salesman. That's what you are.
Really bad. Never take anything for granted, Engin. Don't take anything for granted. So Zurab. Good match. Good match.
Tough one, yeah. And it was, I just had a podcast with both athletes, and they both were very respectful to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And they both thought that, it's going to be a tough one. Usually Zurab is very confident guy, but this time he was very careful about his prediction. So he was saying 50-50.
See, on this show, I like to keep a nice balanced perspective. And I certainly don't like to put any of the guys that come on here, particularly those who come on regularly, I don't like to put them on the spot. Except Ray. Rolly. Who's going to win, Zurab or RVJ?
Rob definitely has the style to beat Zurab. He definitely has the style, but he's been out since 2021, right? Last time he competed.
Mm.
So you have to put a little pressure on him, right? So I'll give him 40% out of 60 that Zurab has.
So yeah, I'd say that's probably fair.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's a very good match stylistically, I think.
I think there's a quality where it could be very close match for both athletes. Where
many people are thinking that the way to beat Zurab is just like attacking his hand. I totally disagree with that.
Yeah, I do.
With Zurab or Sasha, with those guys, you shouldn't be moving that way. More you move, more they involve their shoulders and you are on your arm. Mm-hmm. I think that whatever you do to this way, you need to do before the go. And then the next move needs to turn Zurab's palm up.
Yeah, you got to get that palm to the roof.
Yeah, to this way. I mean, more you pull that way, more he's gonna, engage that way. So first, drop your hand and then put that from here, the pressure to his little finger. And the second movement should be this. So yeah, that's the way that Chance did it. That's why I knew that he was gonna win that match. I said that match, people are, he's gonna kill Chance, what a mismatch, what are you doing? And I was like, I don't see that. I don't know who's gonna win, but it's not a mismatch for sure, stylistically, because I know the way that Chance is playing. So, and once Chance curves his wrist, but you need to do this without turning in, you need to, at the same time, you need to protect your tornado and move this way. So I think that Rob has the power, genetics, everything. And if he pulls in a right way, I shouldn't say that I'm organizer, but he has the edge,
He's got the structural edge, hasn't he? But the thing is, the other thing that sort of plays in Zurab's favor would just be endurance, because he's pulling very actively. Like Ray said, it's good when if you're active, if you're on the circuit all the time, that gives you some opportunity to know where you're at and how long you can go in a brutal format. And with a pretty short period of time. That's the only concern I've got for Rob, will just be the length of time he can hang in the match, because it is difficult. I think Rob's one of those guys that's so distracted with the family and so on. Herman Stevens is another talented lad who doesn't get an opportunity to pull as much as he should, or commit as much as he should, but he's just distracted in other areas. And I think Jerry Cadaret's another one, really. You know, he can't focus on.
People were saying the same thing about Jerry. Jerry just came and won against Gennady and left, you know. I mean, you are not starting everything from zero. It depends what we are doing during the training.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, during the training, I mean, it depends, you know. If you are using the time in training in the right way, you can still have the same intensity, same pressure to gain that thing. And also, whenever you pull for years and years, and then when you rest, I and Rob, we also talked about the same thing, that, you know, all those minor injuries and everything, you know, it just heals up. You feel like, you know, newborn. Yeah. While Zurab, if you realize that this will be his 6th event in a row at East versus West, sometimes it also can be some exhausting.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because, I mean, Rowley went on a bit of a... Ray, you went on a tear last year, largely because of the fact, I think, that you were so game ready. You were on point because you were pulling everywhere. And it looked like you were very, very ready. Whenever you pulled, it looked like you were really on your game. Did you find that, or do you think that was beneficial for you, or did you need a rest?
You sometimes feel like you need a rest, but being game ready, I think it's better. Being in that zone is always better. When you take that few months off, I didn't feel that good. It feels different, you know. So when you're in that zone, it's always better. That's just my personal opinion.
So let's knock over a couple of super chats. This is quite a funny one from Comface. Where do I get? I mean, we get all the best people on here. Thanks, Comface, for your super chat, mate. Appreciate that. He's put, Neil, your show is called The Fix. What one thing would you like to fix about arm wrestling in 2023?
I like that question. That's a good question.
That is a good question. Okay, I would honestly say that if I could fix anything, it would be the division in arm wrestling at the moment. WAF, IFA, all of those things. I mean, at the moment, we've got a situation where we're running the qualifiers for East versus West, and we've got the only issue that we'd have with it here in the UK is that a lot of the guys went over and pulled IFA. In order to pull in the qualifier, they would have to sort of renounce the IFA and sign up for the WAF. And it's a shame, really, that there is a division between the IFA and the WAF, particularly for certain countries. I think the most hard hit countries will probably be, for example, the ladies in Sweden, just because of the fact that they were one of the lead nations in the world, and the most difficult nations for them to compete against are largely the Eastern European bloc girls, a lot of whom are competing in the WAF. So I think if I had the opportunity to fix anything, that'd probably be it. I think negativity generally in the sport at the moment, the advent of social media has created a pretty what's the right word? It can be it's beneficial, but it's also a little bit divisive. I was going to say toxic, but that's maybe a bit heavy, because I don't think there's that much toxicity out there, but there is a little bit of it out there. There's a little bit of venom where it's not required. So if I could fix a couple of things, probably those two things, really, mate.
Yeah, I would also fix that, you know, every organization that invites athletes to cover all of their expenses, you know, that there would be something to fix as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Agent of Chaos with a super chat. I've been training only thumb and head. The gains are incredible, and I'm soon to be elite for that reading alone. I think he meant reason alone, but he's put reading. He was writing fast. Recommend everyone only trains thumb. So I'm assuming this has come from the old thumb curls thing with Devon on his videos winding up Gennady Quickvinia. One thing I will say from personal experience of pulling Devon recently, it has made a big difference, that thicker thumb. Makes it It gives him a lot of access to his pronator. Whether that's going to do everything he wants it to against someone as versatile as Gennady, it remains to be seen. But it definitely
put
helps.
something in there about the thumb thickness, though, to food for thought. My right hand is a lot thicker than my left. And when your thumb is thicker, it is hard for people to get around the back of your hand, but it also pushes your palm a little bit further out of theirs, so you don't get as far around their hand. So I notice that my left hand, I can get a further wrap on people, and I feel just as controlling, even though my right's stronger, because I'm deeper into them and I get further around. So your thumb's harder to control, but it also pushes you out of their pad a little bit extra too.
Yeah, so it really depends on what you're trying to achieve in the setup, where you want to be, your pulling style. But yeah, it's interesting, very interesting. It can make a big difference if you're pulling a guy with a big balled up thumb and they have an opportunity to move quickly on you and gain hand and wrist position. Definitely a weapon. Sperm is ass creamy with a super chat. He's put good day panel and all you mother fluffers. Thanks, mate. Appreciate your super chat. Agent of Chaos is back in with another one. He's put fix episode count is finally higher than RVJ's IQ. Only just, mate. RVJ's on it. Let's go. I think he is actually. You are probably officially the smartest guy on the fix that we've had, RVJ, to be honest.
I won't get into those conversations because Ryan Bowen will come in and start slapping me with fake Mensa tests, and I don't need that dick swinging.
I love AOC, but why can't RVJ control himself once getting emotional?
I can absolutely control myself, but I guess it depends on what time of day it is. I am a man of many layers and personalities, so depending on who I am at that day, I mean, I'd like to say 85% of the time I have complete control. Probably about 10% I'm kind of tiptoeing control, and then there's about 5% I'm a fucking monster. And lately I put the monster in the box, so I'd like to think I'm rather rational.
Mate, I know you well. We're friends on and off camera, and I know you're 99.9% of the time you're extremely rational. And it's definitely a very, very small period of time that you get emotional things. You're a passionate lad. There's no doubt about that, but you're a rational guy, no doubt about that.
Well, I mean, I'm also subject to, I always admired those people who have a shitty day at work and then they come home and they put on a smiley face and they meet the neighbor and something pisses them off and they don't carry over that anger to another person. I'm a person that wears my emotions on my sleeve. If I'm down about something and having a bad day, I'm having a bad day in all fronts of life, and it carries over. You know, I'm not a person that really buries things. What I'm dealing with is face value. If I'm in a pissy mood and somebody wants to troll me, they're going to get a different reaction than if I'm in a really good mood and they want to troll me. And maybe that's my shortcoming, but sometimes the stars align just so.
So we got another interesting super chat here from Elliot Berry. Elliot, thanks for your super chat, mate. He's put, Neil, have you ever pulled Sharon Remez? What was his style like? Yes, I have. Mr. Forearm, Sharon Remez, Israel's finest ever arm wrestler, in my opinion. And there's been some good ones, but he is the outstanding arm wrestler. Other guys like Nir Harel, brilliant arm wrestler also, and more. But Sharon is elite. If you look back at Remez at his best, he truly was exceptional. His wrist strength was incredible. He was one of the pioneers of the open top roll. And a lot of guys around that time emulated him in style. Probably the most famous of whom was Andreas Rundstrom, who emulated the style of Sharon Remez. Back in the day, Sharon was incredible. Absolutely phenomenal puller. Engin will have seen Sharon also pull at that time. I think Ray's probably a little young for that. But let me tell you, Remez at his best, truly a remarkable puller. Mega. Right there with the best at the weight class. And the word is that he's still pulling, and he's still pulling strong at this point in time. So, maybe we'll see Sharon back at the table. Guy, very, very strong, and I'm sure he could come back in and do well. He's come back into the sport a few times. I'm trying to remember around the last time he came back in was probably around the 2010, 2011 was the last time I saw him active, there or thereabouts. Maybe a little after that as well. He was at the 2006 Worlds. I pulled him in that Worlds. Yeah, but a great arm wrestler, mate. Very, very solid. So Remez, Sharon, if you're out there and he gets back into the game, I'd love to see it. Superb hand and wrist control from that lad. One of the best at the weight, without a shadow of a doubt. Be good to see where he's at now. It really would. Did you see a lot of Sharon, Engin?
First time I saw him was 94 Worlds. He was repping there in Sweden. And then I saw him in 96 WAF, where he took, I think third place.
Yeah, Mitch Cady put him out, didn't he?
100 kilo. And then next time I saw him was 2006 WAF, where he took second place, but after Kazakh guy tested positive, he won the gold there.
Uzbek. It was an Uzbek puller. Yeah. Uzbekistan.
He was Kazakh guy, I think, wasn't it?
Uzbek. It was definitely Uzbek. I pulled him there. Pulled Remez on him, but one of my losses was to that
guy
kid.
that just hook and beat.
Very fast.
Yeah. And then after that, I think he was in final in 2007 Sweden with Golemanov. As far as I know, they went straight. I think Golemanov beat him, as far as I remember. And after that, I don't remember if I saw him.
What year was that with Golemanov, mate? Was that his last outing?
Sweden, 2007.
No, Europeans. Maybe he was active after that. Then.
Europeans, yeah.
Yeah,
so
great.
I have seen him, yeah, but not his prime. Like I came 93, and then year before 92, and then year before he was all-time world champion.
What about you, Ray? Have you come across Sharon? Never pulled him. No, very, very strong lad. He really is. So Engin's forehead taco with a super chat. Thanks, mate. He's put, did Hermes have to back out of the rematch with Jerry, and is Morozov versus Levan confirmed for East versus West 8, Engin?
Yeah, today I talked with Hermes. His shoulder, he said it was bothering him even before Levan match. And then once he started pulling that way, he says that it's bothering him even more. So he says that he needs that against Jerry, and they are gonna pull in July. And yes, in same event, Levan and Morozov will pull also.
Yeah, that would have been a pretty joint heavy match if they both got into that shape. Jesus.
Yeah. In the same night, it's gonna happen.
Engin is in the same event, so then Hermes and Jerry will pull for the undisputed championship of the heavyweight of East versus West, right?
That is something that is still like.
Jerry is the champ and Hermes is the interim champ, right?
Yeah, but okay. Let's discuss. So since you started, let's discuss. Because before the event, okay, how that should be before the king of the table. Okay, when Hermes beat Dave Chappie and when he got the shield, he left it here. Because he was gonna go and come back, and he left it here. So Levan was putting the hammer, and he was gonna put the shield, but the shield was here, so it never happened there. But he went there as the interim champion, and he lost. So that is the discussion. When he lost against Levan, did he also lose the title of East versus West? And another thing, if he didn't, then how right it will sound to bring Levan here and pull a match while he doesn't have the title and he's not pulling against the champion. Like Levan to come here and not as a champion and not pulling a title match. So, I mean, you understand? It looks, it's the number one guy in the world. He should be coming here to directly pull a title match. That is how we talk with Hermes. So that is now, it's.
Well, you don't relinquish the title of any. If you pull in a different promotion, you don't relinquish the title that you have in other promotions.
Usually the champion, you understand?
It should work both ways. It should work both ways, right? If someone pulls on King of the Table and they're the champ at somewhere else, then they'll lose the title as well. And if they're champ King of the Table, because King of the Table,
Levan is coming here to be champion of the both organization, you know.
One of the things that complicates that is the different formats.
Yeah,
East versus West is a 5-round format.
And then in my opinion, he should pull Jerry because Jerry is the champ, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but then Hermes is also the champ. Is Hermes champ or not champ?
He is the interim champ here, but he's not.
No, but just whenever he lost Levan, did he lose the title, or he didn't lose the title?
He didn't lose the title on that promotion because you're still fighting best of 5.
No, but what I'm just saying before we talk, you know, he was saying that he's like, you understand? Like this is how
it should be up to you because you're the promoter. If
I'm not gonna go and
like WBC, like boxing, they put all the promotions together and then if 7 belts.
You know what doesn't sound right about this? Someone like Levan to come here and not pull in a title match directly.
I agree.
Is Levan building his way? His title it also sounds, you know, funny. You understand?
All the respect to Artem, who I absolutely love, who's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Levan should pull Jerry.
Yeah, but
like just my opinion. If
you know
we are putting them together, then the champ versus the champ, and it makes all the sense. And you can put Morozov versus Hermes, and that also makes sense.
Today I talked with Hermes, and then Hermes and Jerry are pulling in July. So I really don't know. To me, how it sounds. No disrespect to Hermes, and then but like Hermes pulls Jerry. If Jerry wins, if Levan wins, and then they do the finally. There's just only one title match.
But still,
if Hermes, what's that?
If Jerry wins Hermes, Jerry is still the champ. Because like
what do you say? Okay, if Jerry beat Hermes, Jerry is the champ, and then Levan beat Hermes, he also is the champ. So next event they pull, and then we finally have one champ. But if Morozov beats Levan, and then Morozov will have finally we're gonna make it. This confusion at least was gonna finish in this May event, but because Hermes has shoulder issue, so it's just so confusion.
It's just weird from the talking perspective. Like I couldn't care less who is the champ because we all know the strongest guy will be the champ.
So
right?
This is why I'm saying that after Levan defeating Hermes should say yes, this guy defeated me. I'm not gonna take. I decided to give those things, permanently every time they win, not after 3 times anymore, So he has his shield forever, but I think that he should, like, in my opinion, say that, this guy beat me. I'm going to do a rematch with him at some point, but till that time, this is the guy, I think that is how it should be, my opinion.
I feel like that taking away from Jerry, because Jerry is the champ. Like Jerry hasn't.
No. If Jerry beats,
imagine if Hermes beats Jerry, he's the champ also. And
no, then they can do the rematch at the next one. Yeah.
Makes sense, and it makes a lot of sense then.
Yeah, but this is still the same. Just say if Levan beats Morozov, and then if Jerry beats, and then Jerry and Levan the next one. And
interesting, we got a super chat here from Agent of Chaos. And he's just put Morozov is not ready. He's the future of arm wrestling, but not.
Yeah, but the same thing they said for about Hermes too. They said the same.
Not ready. Blah blah blah. Like I feel it's absolute bullshit when people say like should just Levan just wait until we feel like someone is ready
until this guy that asks questions says he's ready. Levan, and then they will just say, why is Levan not pulling often? After this one, and then this one will start.
Right. Yeah.
Who should we set against Levan? He beat Hermes, and then who else is gonna he beat?
We will put the best guy.
Then he should just sit at home and wait for 2 years until they are ready.
Right. Yeah.
So we just had a super chat from Cameron Beckford, and he's put, "Evening, gents. Hope you're all well. this is obviously going to be discussed tonight, but how do you all see Devon versus Gennady Quickvinia going? It's an amazing match.
You start, Neil.
You want me to go first? Okay.
Yeah.
I think this is one of my favorite matches that's ever been set on the card at East versus West or anyone or anywhere else. The reason I love this match so much is both guys are genuinely exciting arm wrestlers. Both these guys are what I call main event pullers, because both guys have enough character, have enough versatility, have enough excitement, intensity to carry the match. So it really doesn't matter who you put these guys against. Their presence, their aura can carry the match and is an entertaining match. When you pull two guys together who both have that, you got a really, really great option. I also think that why I like this match so much is because I think that Devon is very, very strong right now. I think his level is exceptional. And I love the fact that he's been pulling some of the lower weight guys. I actually like him at that lower weight more on his left arm, if I'm honest. I think on his right arm, he's kind of got to pull those supers, because what I saw and felt at the dark card, he's at an exceptionally high level. And it's very, very difficult to find anybody that's going to give him a real threat at the lower level, at the lower weight. With Gennady Quickvinia, he's got another genuine super heavyweight challenge. This is a guy that's unbelievably explosive, is not afraid of Devon, has all the weapons he could need, has great stamina, great explosivity. I'm interested to see what he can do with Devon from the starts, because we saw that if there is a vulnerability for Devon, it's off the start. And this guy's very, very quick and he's very versatile. I think if Devon stops the match, once it stops, I would favour Devon heavily, because that bleed is very difficult to get out of, and Devon has got the leverage advantage. He loves those long, drawn-out battles, but I do believe that Gennady's got enough versatility to cause him problems, and we've seen that he's dealt with the King's move before. So, very interesting matchup. I think it's going to be a really exciting matchup. I don't know about the lead up to it, because obviously you've got some issues and language barriers with Gennady Quickvinia. But when the guys hit the table, I would expect thunder and lightning all day with this one. It's going to be a hell of a match. I think it'll steal the show there. It'll be a phenomenal pull. Really looking forward to that one. I really am. It's great. I would give it 55-45 in favour of Devon, maybe 60-40 in favour of Devon.
And Rob?
Yeah. You want my opinion on it?
Yeah.
No, I was going to ask you how you do omelette.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, I'm asking your opinion. Yeah.
What do I think about Gennady and Devon?
Yeah,
Yes,
who have you got?
Yeah, I pretty much mirror a lot of what you said, Neil. I talked about it on Engin's show. I can see where Gennady probably gets the press in there, the shoulder in there, would get some work with some speed and some climbing. But I just think Devon's conditioning and ability to pull in the straps and really strangulate people and take them into the deep water, he's hard to beat in a super match. He seems to be in great form, and I got no reason to believe, other than what he's saying and showing, that he is in great form. So, you know, I'm betting on Devon. I don't think it'll be easy, but I think once he wins one, he wins the rest of them. So,
Rob, a question for you. Today, I saw they made a video and suggested Gennady a best of 7 match instead of best of 5. Do you think, would you consider this any lack of confidence?
yeah, I mean, I think anytime somebody tries to drag something out or tailor rules, there is an angle, and Devon's a very calculated and smart guy. And with his endurance and how he trains, he's going to be much more difficult for anyone in the world the longer it goes, because he's known for his extreme endurance and his extreme training regime, where he pulls basically every single day or does something very intense. So, I mean, a best of 3 against a guy with like Gennady might have a different prediction than a best of 7. You know what I mean?
Just 1 minute though. Rewind. When the crowd say both, selector. Are we going over 7 rounds here? Have I missed something?
No, best of 5. But Devon asked Gennady if he would accept best of 7 instead of best of 5.
That was just
best of 5. But what I am just saying that to me, it sounded like, of course, Devon believes in himself that he's gonna win. But I think that he sees there is a possibility of losing in best of 5 as well.
Oh yeah, my God.
Yeah.
Rolly Ray, who've you got? Good Doug, look, he's on it.
For me,
I'm on the show.
It's hard to bet against Devon in a super match. I think the first 2 will be the most dangerous from Gennady. Gennady seems to be losing his hand a lot, and I believe Devon has his containment, his back pressure, his ability to take the hand is second to none. And I believe he will get it, but there's a lot of side pressure. Even when Gennady loses the hand, there's a lot of side pressure coming that way. So I don't know. I would still pick Devon, but I wouldn't say it's like 3-0 or something like that. I would say it's like 3-2 or 3-1 or something like that, because I believe he will find a way. And Devon right now is extremely strong. Yeah, this version I have seen the past year is insane. It's not even close what he used to be, and he's way smarter in his approach. And we talked with him a lot about it, and I still believe he's somewhere in that conversation of top 5 in the world. And I believe he's better than he was when he faced Levin.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. He's not that big, but something like he looks healthier, He looks
insane. The way he pulls, the way he makes every match, even before, he made every match look like it's the same match. Like he made every opponent look they're pressers. Like all they do, they just press. So he's very used to it. The only question comes where he will stop on the line from the start till the pad. Well, he will stop Gennady, because Gennady will go there 100%.
I mean, to put no finer point on it, Ray, you can feel it. You can simply feel. I mean, we gripped up with Devon when he was about to pull Levan, before he pulled Levan. You can feel it. Just grip the guy up. It's right there. You can feel it in the hand straight away. It's different. End of. His hand and wrist are different. When I pulled him at the dark card, straight away, as soon as I gripped him up, I'm like, holy shit, that's different. It's like, what the? Very different.
Yeah, it's not genuine, the same guy from the WA.
No, mate.
No.
Different from Dubai. Structurally different.
Forget about it.
You're like, what the?
It's still there, but forget about it. He can take the advantage faster, higher, and not go straight to that position. And I believe that's a very dangerous man. Plus, like, Devon is ready to pull every single day of the week. Like, he doesn't, like we talk about, I'm like, I don't think you need to like peak or something. You need to freaking train or something, because you're always training. All you need to do is do a little bit of rest and you're just golden.
So while everybody's putting it on the block here, Douglas Erlich, come on, son, who have you got? Gennady Quickvenia, Devon Larratt, why?
Devon's going to drag him into deep water probably, but Gennady's going to be, I think, early rounds. I think he wins the first round. Once Devon gets a stop, though, I mean, he'll strangle you out. So it's going to be tough. I'm going to pick Gennady, though.
Oh.
I'm picking Gennady because Devon picked against me.
Fuck
Devon.
Good reason as any. Just pure revenge move. So
I went out with the Georgian team in Turkey, and they won me over.
Oh, mate, they're lovely lads. They're lovely lads, the Georgians. They are.
I want to say that we talk about Devon being, different than usual. Do you realize that this match may be the most important match of Gennady Quickvenia in his career? Do you realize that?
At the moment, Engin, I think anybody that pulls Devon, it is the most important match of their career.
Yeah, but do you know my point? My point is that this guy is gonna come there, that like in a shape that we have never seen before. So that I wanted to point, and I will leave now. And so just you all can expect a match. You know, Devon told me that he will just mess around one more week, and then last 2 months he will be just going only for Gennady. So
Yeah, he told me the same.
Listen, he didn't do this for Prudnik. Do you know what he was ready to do with Prudnik? He told me, remember his son was going to have a surgery, shoulder surgery.
Yeah.
And he was going to come here after the surgery if they didn't change the date. He was going to arrive here only a few hours before the event starts and then directly come to the venue and pull Prudnik. So he was that much, you know, he was just sure of himself. This time, he said last 2 months before the event, he is going to just like go to the camp, you know, not he's not going anywhere, but just all his mind will be Gennady.
Yeah, 100% focus.
It should give some idea to everyone that, you know, like he is not expecting something. He's taking his opponent very, very, very seriously.
And he should, because Gennady is a beast. There's no doubt about that. Absolute beast. Silky Wilkie's coming with a super chat, guys.
Neil, 1 second, my friend. I'm leaving.
Okay, mate.
Okay, you all take care.
What I do? Run you off, Engin?
Well, no.
Yeah.
He's finishing, and it's in my son's room. I don't want
just before you go, Engin, listen to this super chat. It's very pertinent to East versus West. So Silky Wilkie's coming with a super chat. Thanks, mate. Really appreciate it. Huge super chat. But I think that title holders should stay separate in each promotion. Don't take Hermes' shield. However, if the athletes want to challenge for a title in another promotion, maybe they could have an official wager in which both titles fall to the victor. So the only other complication with that is a cross format. You know, because there's some complexity for the promotion as well. Because if that promotion doesn't want to sort of renege their title, that is a complicated. In other words, if you take the UFC, can you imagine saying to the UFC, okay, I'm going to fight this guy in another promotion and I'm going to put my UFC title on the line? Not a chance. It couldn't happen. You know,
listen,
number one, you're under contract. Number two, it simply couldn't happen.
I am against this kind of like comparing with every other sport, like same as, you know, Levan left on after 4th round, he should lose, you know, it cannot happen in another sport. So it's just we shouldn't compete with other sports. I saw that also Raimon's with a video he explained very well that, you know, it is just, I mean, like there is no other sport that once you secure the win, the match is over, it doesn't continue. Just like, I mean, any sport, you know, just like like 4-0 is a knockout. 4-0 is a knockout. Of course.
It will be like you finish marathon and you still have to run like 3 kilometers for no reason.
Yeah, but
right?
in arm wrestling, we have our own sport. We know that after 4-0,
exactly.
I disagree with that comment, Ray, to be honest, because it's a predefined distance. So that the marathon distance, you know what it is. You cross the line at that predefined distance. With an arm wrestling match, it is a predefined duration. Whatever that predefined duration is, that's the line. There's the line.
It doesn't mean you don't have first 4 and then lose next 2.
I don't agree that Levan. We actually in the original Arm Wars we were looking at doing that where you had to finish the game, and we actually scrapped it. It didn't actually serve the purpose we'd intended it to serve.
Yeah, I mean, in Arm Wars you can do that. In King of the Table they do different deal, you know. And then he could just
the point I'm making, Engin, is we didn't do it.
He could just walk up there and then he lay 2 times. We know that we do that. You know, sometimes the athletes after 4-0 they just lay their arms and then nobody says anything. We know what we are used to. So Levan won that match.
I've missed it.
We can compare with the other sport. Anyways, guys, I really need to.
Engin, 1 minute, mate. Apparently I've missed a chat that was specifically to you. Where the frig is it?
My friend, it is just batteries 3%, you know.
Okay, Engin, will your events ever have any tributes to fallen champions like Andre Pushka, Cleve Dean, and Jason Bale.
I mean, I can
insane
count.
fame.
I can count 20 more, my friends. One guy also asked me about Jason. I have lost my personal close friends. You understand? Like, you know, for this reason, that reason, accident, that arm masters, champion arm masters. I can do that, but I need to do everyone. If I miss one, then I will be, I don't know, you understand? Like, why this one, why not the other one? You understand? So then we can just say that generally whoever passed away or something, but not like anyone who says, can you remind this guy? But like, why not the others as well? You know, there are many of them, you understand? So
Engin, thanks for coming on the show, mate. Have a good evening. I know it's late over there. John Augustin with a super chat. He's put, cheers, gents. For you all personally, who would be on your Mount Rushmore of arm wrestlers? Jesus, that's a hard question. Incredibly hard question. Let's give it Ray.
John, Devin, Dennis, and at this point, Levin. But that's because I'm speaking from my era.
Let's go for Rob.
Well, I mean, you got to remember the golden years, even though it wasn't worldwide. Al Turner had a run. Johnny Walker had a run. But, I mean, of course, John Brzenk. I'd hate to not include Ron Bass because he was pretty much the same as John Brzenk, except a little bit lesser of a record against the both of them. But when John wasn't in the room, Ron Bass was pretty much the John Brzenk. I agree that Dennis had some longevity and stretch in there. I like to give a nod though to dominance overall, not just, you know, dominance in the game. And you see somebody like Rustam, who's probably the winningest guy in WAF, or somebody like Zoloev, who these guys decimated their class for like what, 10 or 15 years. I mean, these guys dominated their class probably longer and better than the other guys we mentioned. You know, I mean, Rustam probably didn't lose in his weight class a single match for probably like 10 years. And none of the other guys could say that. So is it like, are we going by greatness or overall who would beat who? You know,
very hard.
For you, it's for you. for me, I say the names of the guys that I think impacted the sport the most, at least in my time. You know, like John, Dennis, like Dennis left his mark in Eastern Europe. Levin is leaving his mark right now, and Devin left his mark all over the world. So for me,
yeah, I think those three are pretty solid shoe-ins. Those three with what they've brought to the sport and their popularity is undeniable as well. So the fourth one, fifth one would be the top one, you know.
And Rushmore, there's 4, isn't there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
what the fuck? I'm wrestling Rushmore, so we can make it as many as we want.
Okay. Doug, who's on yours, mate?
John, Ron. I just feel like if John wasn't around, it would have been Ron. Like all those years, like he was the guy. If it wasn't for John, I feel like he would have been who recognized almost as what John is, especially over here. I like the Dennis thing, even though it wasn't like the longest stretch of time. He was at the top, but he was number one left and right for the longest time. There's an argument for Travis in a stretch. He was huge for arm wrestling and arguably the best lefty ever. So you got to have a left up there too, out of the 4 maybe. So probably I'll go with Ron. Oh, it's hard not to put Andre Pushkar up there too. So I mean, just a certain stretch, even though some of their years weren't as long. Like you're not going to put Alexei Vovoda up there. I mean, it was an even shorter period of time. But there's an argument for him to be up there. So I mean, there's so many. But if you're going to pick 4, I'm going John, Ron, Dennis, and Andre. Or Travis, one of the 2.
Yeah, it's really down to the criteria, isn't it? What you're picking.
Yeah,
but if Ray says it's people who've impacted the sport, largely for you. My God, for me, it's very difficult that because there are so many guys that have really had an incredible impact on me. If you say guys that have been really influential, I would have to say, yeah, very, very hard.
I don't want to cut in, but honestly, Engin as well. It's hard not to put Engin like what he did, and like that dude terrorized everybody for years in every weight class over here before it got. I mean, he's got world titles. He just had like a 20-year gap between his last title and the one he just won a few years back.
I mean, and now what he's got to be on there for services to the sport and for absolute brand obsession.
Promotional.
There's been a more obsessed arm wrestler than Engin. I don't think I've met him or her.
Oh, he's the most knowledgeable, probably.
He's an unbelievably obsessed individual. Obsessed. You know, Engin's going to be on. I think John's got to be on there. You know.
Oh,
there's a big argument for Cobra Rhodes.
Yeah, that's your four really. Is John, Devin, Dennis, and Engin. That encapsulates the world and basically for errors and what they represented in their own. You know, John for being John and his legacy, Devin for the legacy he's creating and his social media and having such a worldwide outreach, Engin for what you described, and Dennis for, you know, how big he is on a global scale and the recognition he brought. Very unique physical person that brought a lot of attention from a lot of fronts.
Yeah, for me, John's on there, Devin's on there, Engin's on there, for all the reasons we talked about. If I had to go with one more, it's incredibly tough, but I'm probably going to go biasly for me personally on influence and my sort of respect of that influence. I'd probably go with Svetan Gashevsky.
I like it.
Because Svetan Gashevsky is a natural arm wrestler. He's a magnificent arm wrestler. Broke the sport down into disparate elements as well as anyone I've ever seen.
And he's still producing a team that everybody on the team is a fucking world champ.
He's mega. But there are so many guys that are, and as I say, if you go in there,
conversations about like Mount Rushmore of arm wrestling, it all comes down to what are we talking about? We're talking about arm wrestling ability. We're talking about dominance. We're talking about influence. We're talking about, you know, the
probably all of it, though, right?
Yeah, I was going with the influence.
There's all of it. There's like 5 different layers and 5 different people we can put there easily. You know,
yeah, Cobra would be right there for me.
Lorenzo
Villar would be right there for me.
Insanely good at arm wrestling that like influenced arm wrestlers, but no one freaking knows about them, right?
No. Well, Lorenzo Villar, I bet a lot of people that don't even know who that is. You know, Ginito Hakim, you know, there's so many great arm wrestlers.
I mean, Cleve Dean, you know, there's an argument for him. My 4, I changed it. It's Neil, Rob, Ray and myself.
Ray and Doug, yeah.
That's the 4. That's the 4.
No current reason. Let me see if there's any more super chats that I may have missed because I don't want to. So, Agent of Chaos with a super chat. He's put, Devon will have his hands full. Gennady will pin Devon first 2 rounds. If Devon gets a stop, he wins the rest. I think that's what a lot of people are thinking, mate. If and when Devon can get the stop, he's going to be more dangerous. Hard man to stop, Gennady, and he's very, very powerful, very explosive, and I think very confident right now as well. Really looks like he's confident. Ordinary Gamers just come in with a super chat. Do you guys think Devon will have any trouble slipping against Gennady? Prudnik nearly pinned him the first slip of their match. Yeah, I think Prudnik's much more explosive than Gennady, just because of the weight thing. He's a very, very explosive guy over that first few inches. Part of me thinks that Gennady might feel like he can bully Devon. That may be a mistake, but I feel like Gennady's a good enough arm wrestler and powerful enough to feel like he can literally grab hold of Devon and bully him. maybe he can. We'll see, I guess. He's certainly very, very strong right now. But I do wonder whether he will hang on to Devon. Well, he'll try to force the issue. And if he does, that's going to be fascinating because we don't know how strong Gennady really is. Very difficult man to control, very awkward man to control, Devon. So I would like to think that Gennady goes into this match and arm wrestles weak. He arm wrestles elusively. I think to have a real chance of winning the match, he would need to. If he tries to bully Devon, Devon will dust him. Gennady's a very, very good arm wrestler. This is a great match. It'll be super exciting. I think it's going to be unbelievable to watch. So Agent of Chaos has just come in with a super chat. RVJ is a gem in the arm wrestling community. He's real as and funny as great people always have haters.
Much appreciated,
I
dude.
agree. I agree with that.
I agree with
I
that.
appreciate it.
Fat Legless Bird. Boom. Thanks for your super chat, mates. But RVJ every week. Yeah, buddy. Red Rocket Unicorn. The Unicorn Pig. Mother fluffing house. So a lot of love for RVJ coming in. Agent of Chaos again. He's not fucking about. He's put community. Damn typos. Yeah, mate. Don't worry. I clocked that. I know what happened there. Don't worry about it, son. We've got you covered. And then Chess Goals. Now, ain't this the kid that we were talking about, Ray, when we were at the Dark Card? It's Chess Goals, the guy that Devon was talking about when he was playing Mindigus. And he said, oh, there's this guy who's great at chess. And the Chess Goals live in Canada. And I think that's the guy. Chess Goals we were talking about, your ass. I think we were talking about him. I think this is a young lad who's great.
I'm really sorry. I gotta leave. I have an early morning, and was nice talking with you, Doug, RVJ, Daddy.
Ray, see you soon, mate. Have a good one. Speak to you very soon. Biggity bong, mother fluffer. So here we go.
See the car running.
Chess Goals has put fourth on Rushmore is Doug for his lightweight dominance at East versus West. Have some of that.
We'll see if it can keep going.
Hey? And then Juji Mugu come flying in. He's put shut up. The Rushmore is Bowen, DMT, Uncle John, and Bart. Right? Nobody feeling that?
Oh, I'm sorry. My internet's blown right now. I think I'm good.
You're in the right place.
I'm back on Wi-Fi.
Mate, you're in the right place if your internet. So a few weeks ago when you were on, my internet blew up and somebody else got control of my own fucking show. How's that? Ray shut me down. We came back on and somebody else had control of the show. I didn't know who got the show. I stopped the show. The show was still running. Not great. That's how we roll. Yeah.
I wish I remembered that show.
Yeah. Apparently it was amazing.
Apparently, I have $100,000 match lined up.
You do. We should do that.
Yeah.
100 grand. Yeah, I'm like, I can go 100 grand. So here we go. Agent of Chaos, Larry Wheels has had a ton of influence. Mate, Larry's doing great things. Larry's coming on. Larry is coming on. Let me tell you, he's coming on. He's doing well. There's a lot of progression in Larry Wheels. And to be fair to the guy, he stuck with it. And he took some ass whippings, took his lumps, and he stuck with it. You cannot knock that. And guy's obviously insanely strong. It'll be interesting to see where he lands. Let's have a look. I think it will caught up on Super Chat. It's not going to stay on here for too much longer tonight, guys, because like Ray, I've got a stupid early one in the morning. Ridiculously early one. I'm going to be up at like 5 a.m. But I wanted to just switch the mood a little bit here and talk about our very own White Hawk, Paul Lynn. Because Paul, while he can't be on the show tonight, big change up in his match, guys. And I know you both know Paul Lynn very well. And RVJ, obviously very familiar with the lad he's going to arm wrestle in Sasho. Big change. Has he just got a more difficult match than he had? Your opinion? He was going to put Haji Murat Zoloff.
Go ahead. You go ahead, Rob.
I don't think it's a more difficult match. I think it's going to be awkward. And I mean, Sasha is very much, got the resume on his own. I think it's easier to decode Sasha than it is Zoloev. I think Zoloev's a little more rounded. Now, that's not saying like you can know what to do, but then you've got to execute it. If I tell you, Neil, boxing's all about just going in the ring and punching the other guy in the face, and you're like, that sounds easy. Well, there's always more to it than just doing that. Like, you can say what you got to do to beat a guy like Sasha or a guy like Todd Hutchings. It's easy to write the prescription, but you've got to go and actually have the physicality and execute it. But I do think that very much like what Engin was saying with beating Sasha and Zarab, that's basically the conclusion I came after living it, that, moving backwards is kind of putting yourself in your own trap. Sideways, rolling over their palm, putting them palm up is a really good angle. Now, I think Sasha's not going to change that game plan. He's going to be Sasha, incredibly good at what he does.
But
I think it's easier to dial in and focus on negating him than somebody who seems a lot more well-rounded. And recently, probably the past couple of years, but Zoloev's top roll game seems just as spicy as his hook, and they're both on the elite level.
Yeah.
So if he gets fatigued or stuck in an area, trying to fuck with a guy who can roll you as easily as he can like stonewall you in a hook, is, in my opinion, I would love to say Sasha is the very best guy because it would line us up that I'd hope to have a rematch with him. But I think for maybe the way Paul pulls that, I think Zolev's a harder match.
Yeah, I'm very, very interested to see this match with Paul and Sasha, because Paul, when he moved in and tested his frame with Rustam, it was obviously far stronger than he knew. I'm really interested to see how Paul approaches the match with Sasha, because I'm sure he's getting an enormous amount of advice, and a lot of people will be telling him, oh, this is what you should do, this is how you should approach it. And Paul's a real student of the game. He's a guy who breaks down all the moves of his opponent. He really works hard. His diligence is first class. You can tell that the guy coaches people because he breaks down the whole game. And I'm very interested to see how he breaks down his best lane. Obviously, I know he's not going to come on here and talk about it, but I'm very, very keen to see how he goes into that match and what his game plan is on the night. Because Sasha,
I know his game plan.
Yeah, let's not share it on here if you're
not
sure he
nah,
wants to.
I was going to say, but I can't say it.
Yeah, but it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see where he goes there, because the one thing you'd say about Sasha, he's pretty much a known quantity. Technically, he's not going to come with a different look. He does one thing as well as anyone's ever done it. Yeah. But my God, he is a challenge. There's no doubt about that. I mean, you only have to look at the resume. You look at the guy he's arm wrestled. The guys he's arm wrestled are top of the line, and he is so consistent in putting people to sleep. Very few guys have got wins against him. The Zolaev brothers have got wins against him. He's got wins against them. But he has beaten everyone there is to beat in or around that weight class. Pedigree second to none. This is a huge, huge test for Paul Lynn. And Paul is really good, and he's improving. And I'm keen to see where he takes this. I really am.
Yeah, I think one of the things with Sasha, I would say, is very similar to Crazy George in the sense that when you grab him, you kind of know, like I talked to Crazy George or Denny Dubrail, and Denny Dubrail was the guy that would always beat Crazy George because he knew what not to do and what to do.
The dragon.
Yeah, but he would turn him palm up. He wouldn't let him get to that spot where his hand was trying to take him, but he got the original King's move. But Sasha's got such a small, awkward build that you can't help but want to think that you want to roll on him. You can't help but you've been told to do this. Your mind and everything has been conditioned to say, like, do this. But when you feel it, you almost like second guess, like, nah, and he sets up so protected and so well.
Yep.
His physicality is actually, I think whenever you have an extreme in either end of the spectrum of a physicality, so super, as much as a super long arm and super huge hand can be awkward, when you get somebody got an arm that short and you've got to come way, way down, the bigger guy is always scrutinized. It
reminds me a lot, mate, of Todd Hutchins was pulling Matt Mask.
Right.
I can't remember whether it was a fix or an In the Presence of Greatness. Maybe it was In the Presence of Greatness. I'll have to go back and check. But we had Todd on the show, and he was breaking down that match. It was just around the corner, a month away or something. And he said, the interesting thing for Matt's going to be just the difference in our physicality. He's going to have to come way down. He said, and I'm used to pulling guys who are a lot longer than me. I've been doing that so long. He's not going to be used to having to come so far down and open himself up. And I've got such a horsepower advantage, and the leverage is working for me. And it is a thing with Sasho, because people don't realize how small Sasho is, how compact he is. He is a very, very.
Well, you take a guy like that,
very, very compact.
He's also built really well. I mean, he's not he's got shoulders and chest and back. He's a fire plug. But when you come down to a person like that and they're fully posted up, knuckles to the sky, and you're stretching down your forearm and you're on like your brachialis, stretch it down, and even depending on the ref and how prejudiced they want to be, they almost take pity on him like he's the little guy, and then they start doing this with your wrist, and you got a guy posted up over you that's all shoulders, tricep, and chest, and you're coming down like this, and he's all palm over you, and he's good at playing the victim card a little bit, like it was surprising. If you push on him or you come down, it's subtle little victimizations, and next thing you know, you're under him like this, and he's posted up here, and all he's got to do is come like this a little bit, and you're down here in a hammer curl. Well, you got a guy that probably benches 400 sitting on your fucking bicep. So,
and his timing's weird, isn't it? As well.
Yeah, I mean,
he's a great puller. His timing's all over the show.
Right. I mean, he started off as a lightweight. It's no different than these boxers that you see that maintain a lot of speed as they move up, because they start off as lightweights and they have a lot of pepper. And then they move up with it. And he started off as a smaller guy, probably in like the 150s. Now he's at 200. He's got a lot of that pepper and reaction. But I mean, the way he sets up with his palm up and forward, to try to top roll him, you're not coming through his fingers. You're coming through the base of his palm. So there is a learning curve there. At least for me, there's a lot of learning curves that I never really encountered. So to not fall victim to some of those setup and physicality weirdnesses is some of it's going to be on the fly. Some of it's going to be like you're going to learn as you go.
You think this is going to be a really unique experience for Paul? Because Sasho's one of those guys, a bit like, when you're pulling Jerry Caderet, he's one of the who the you bring in to emulate that. He's just a weird, bit of a unicorn, isn't he? He's a weird guy to arm wrestle. That much power in that kind of package. Very hard to emulate that.
I mean, because he does change the leverages. And I've talked to you about this directly. Everybody talks about leverage. They think about long arm, long hand, long arm, long hand. But what happens if it does stop and coil? At that point in time, the guy who's obnoxiously short forearmed and short framed is harder to pull out. When you got something longer to drag and pull on, you can break it. I mean, if you try to snap an 8-foot 2x4, it's very different than trying to snap a 4-foot 2x4.
Without doubt, he knows how to use that. He's drilled at making that physique work for him.
Well, that's exactly what I said to Paul, because he asked me about it, and I said, I will say he is very aware, much like Todd Hutchings. Todd will say he's all about power, but Todd's very aware of where he has to go and where he definitely doesn't want to go.
Big time.
And I said Sasho's aware of his physical advantages and his physical disadvantages, and he's no dummy. He's not finding medals in a Cracker Jack box. He's winning them, but he's knowing how to make people play his game, much like a la Rocky Marciano. I'm a big boxing fan. He was slow, he was short, but he knew how to make what he had work for him, and he won time and time again.
100%, mate. 100%. It really got it dialed in. He knows the numbers that he has to play, and he plays them well. He really does.
So there's a beauty. There's a beauty in this match for stepping into this class. That's if Paul wins, it's 100% amazing for him and for Team West. If Sasho wins, it gives me a boner to kind of like the stars aligned that I might get a redemption if I get through Zarab. So there's really no loss in it from my standpoint. I mean, I don't want to wish ill on Paul. We're always going Team West, and I like Paul, and I hope he goes through it. But the bittersweet from a selfish standpoint is if he doesn't, it aligns me for a little bit of getting the boogeyman out of my closet.
Yeah, I can see that, mate. No doubt about it. But I'm sure that match will come again. And on the other side of that, there's Zurab and him. Because can you imagine Sasha and Zurab would be a fucking, that'd be an unbelievable pull, wouldn't it? I wonder where that'd go. Jesus Christ, what a
Yeah,
match.
You
Neil,
know,
I'm
that's
having a
something
little-
about that guy. I thought his endurance in my mind, I said, you know, this guy's probably going to blow up pretty quick if I get him in a spot. And then I started watching some of his videos, and it fucked me up a little bit with how good his endurance actually is.
Yeah. He can go and go, mate.
Yeah.
Very. If you can put him to bed early, do it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, very, very powerful lad. Got a massive amount of heart. He really has. And his endurance is great. He's training with a crew of absolute killers, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
All
The
the
worst
time.
guy on his team is the best guy in other parts of the world.
Yes, it's mega. So we just had a super chat in from Hayek. Let's have a look. Kurabakshian, great name. He's put RVJ and Travis in the commentating booth. He wants to get you on the commentary team, mate, over there with Travis Bajent. Travis, good luck to Tyson Bajent as well. He's been doing a lot this week, I think, over there at the tryouts, hasn't he? So best of luck, Tyson. Lovely lad, and I hope it works out for you, mate. And I'm sure Travis is going to be 100% focused on that one. I could see him in the stands on some of the stuff that Casey was posting on Facebook. Looks like Tyson was doing a great job. Kid's an athlete, no doubt about that.
He did real well at the combine. I saw his numbers. Did real well.
He's done well, has he?
Yeah, he's right in the middle of the pack on it, at the bare minimum. He's in the middle of the pack on all the metrics. You know, so they run the 40, they bench, they do vertical, they do the cone drills and stuff, and his times and everything have been comparable with everybody else.
Tremendous. Good for you, Tyson Bajent. Hopefully he gets where he wants to be. Fantastic stuff. Listen, guys, we'll probably put the brakes on it there. I want to say a massive thanks to everybody in the chat tonight for sending in your super chats, for supporting the channel. I think we had like 900 people in here at one time. Please hit the like button for us, guys. If you're in and you haven't hit the like button, give us a like. Subscribe to the channel, please, and help us out. Much appreciate everybody tuning in as always. Massive thanks to Rob Vigent Jr. and to Doug. If you're not subscribed to these guys' channels, please get over there and sub, guys. Doug Erlich, you'll be seeing at East versus West. He will be pulling Daniel Prokopchuk. Could he get a harder match? Gets all the easy stuff. I mean,
man, when y'all were saying earlier about finding a training partner to spar with to like mimic that guy, that's going to be really hard because of how small and compact he is, and the frame and the lever length, but with the same kind of power, like it's going to be in his joints and his sticking spots. Like it's going to be hard to find that. I'm going to go train with Craig Tullier though and try and lock that down.
Very, very hard. Hey, SG Records, I've just noticed in the chat. SG, how you doing, mate? Roman, good to see you, buddy. Mate, you couldn't hit the nail on the head more, Doug. I mean, some of these guys that are the elite lads in the weight classes, very, very tough to prep for those. What are you going to do? But what an experience and what an opportunity. I mean, my God, if you hit a home run there, wow.
That's the game plan. It's like the what if,
Yeah.
Hey, anything can happen.
I mean, when Rob was talking earlier about posting really high, he's got most of his setups high knuckles and posting really high with that short lever so he can get literally vertical, completely vertical. And then, I mean, his containment, his hand is, but then if you do get his hand, there's no guarantee by no means, like you just can't finish him.
No,
so,
I mean, how many times have we seen Mindaugas get into a great position and others? Guys, super strong, super complete, very intelligent. I mean, we had a question earlier tonight about from a technical standpoint. If you go over and check out Daniel's channel, he breaks down a lot of the styles, a lot of the techniques, a lot of the training mantra that he puts down, and it's all really on point. Very polished, very diligent.
Yeah, his channel I stumbled upon and sent the Doug a video about some interesting exercises that I never came across.
Oh, he's
brilliant. I really liked the simplicity. He's got like 5-minute videos and will be like exercises for defensive hook, exercises for offensive hook. And he kind of says like little subtitles why. I mean, his channel's really good.
Really good. Really concise.
It's like 201 arm wrestling, I think. 201 arm wrestling, I think is what it is.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, go get over there and check that out, guys.
He's a bad motherfucker, but you just got to smash him, Doug. Don't dick around with that guy.
Hey, look, this is a completely different story than my last match. I mean, this dude he's the real deal. But like Neil said, you said it to me the other day, Rob. It's the what if I hit a home run here? I mean it.
Oh my God! You
beat. Yeah, you beat a guy like him. It's but like there's only a couple guys other than Paul. So we're talking in his weight class that pinned DeVete at East First West. I mean, he got a pin on him first round. So,
and you've got to come into this. I mean, that the whole pressure barometer thing. I mean, you can't lose. But when on the polls, everybody's going to back Daniel. Everybody's going to think Daniel dusts you. Mm-hmm. You can't lose.
On paper, he's by. I mean, the dude has every accolade. He's the pedigree, the respect he has from everyone. I'd say top 3 pound for pound. I mean, if we're talking,
right. I mean, left-handed, he's unbelievable.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. Unbelievable.
Yeah. He's an elite in a room of elites.
Yes, he is. Yeah, he's solid. So, I mean, that's it's a great opportunity. It's a great opportunity.
I'm going to have some adrenaline. I mean, I feel like, we're talking about the what ifs, but like, I never imagined myself losing. I've envisioned myself pinning him. And
good for you.
The things it would do for me if I beat him, I don't see how I'm not next in line for DeVete. So I was expecting
I think it would be
later. I wanted to climb the ladder a little slower, but look, he threw me in it. As soon as he offered it, I don't even think he finished it was like little bubbles on his screen still when he was texting me, and I said yes. So I didn't even think about it. I mean, that's a huge opportunity, and I honestly just honored to pull the guy. Like if I get a win on him, it's gonna be epic. It'll change everything for me.
Yeah, I mean, the last time you went into East versus West, you were an underdog. You came out and you impressed. My God, you would set the bar way higher if you did that this time. If you went out there and you were able to get anything. To be honest, if you're in there and you give a really good showing, I think your stock rises, mate.
Yeah, I agree
with this guy.
We'll see. I mean, if we'll see if I can pull him over and where it stops, and if I stop him, we'll see. It's going to be interesting. I mean, the thing is, I bring a lot of energy to the table when I come to the table, and that adrenaline gets
Where
it.
Where are you at now, mate?
Weight-wise?
From the last, it looked like you came through the last one unscathed. Have you been able to get on the table a lot? Because I know you've a lot going on. Have you been able to work hard? Have you been able to throw yourself at it a little bit, or have you been less able to train, able to focus?
It's that stuff's like interrupted it a little, as you know, and I've gotten candid with you as a friend on behind the scenes, but I've been trying. The problem right now is I've got really bad tennis elbow, and it's affecting my training. Yeah, it's affecting I can't hammer anything right now. But it's getting better. I'd say it's 50% better than it was a couple weeks ago. But I'm still every day training hard. I was on the table today. Good thing is when I'm arm wrestling, I don't feel it. Only when I'm lifting. So it does affect my training, but it doesn't affect me on the table. Mm-hmm. So I'm only like 183 right now, 184 in the mornings max. And but I'm gonna try to pack on about 10, 15 pounds, and then I'll cut down
to 187, Doug?
187. That's the one. Yep. Maybe it's at 85 kg. That may be the one advantage I have, but he does get to come in big and strong, which could affect his endurance a little bit too, because he's going to be very full. Mm-hmm. So, and I know he can go for days. I've done my research.
You're a much bigger man. Much bigger man.
Oh,
frame.
Oh yeah. To the non-arm wrestler, you see him standing next to me, they're like, oh, he's going to kill this guy. But to the arm wrestling world, they're like, he's going to kill Doug. So, I believe me, I'm not coming into this talking to him the way with the confidence level I talked to Ray, because I knew the levels and I knew there was a difference in level between me and him, although a lot of people didn't. But I know there's a difference. There is a gap between me and Daniel, maybe, but we'll see if I can close the gap. We'll see.
Hey, no time like the present, brother. No time like the present. You got some time to work, and you never know if you can hit the home run at this one. Wow.
2023 has been my year so far.
You write yourself a new reputation.
That's what I'm hoping
Nobody
for.
forgetting your name quickly then.
Hey, this has been the best year I've had in 5 years. 2023 has been amazing for me. So I'm hoping that this is like just another stepping stone. I've had a lot of good things happening that have, I'll explain later, but a lot of good things have happened. This has been my year, and it's going to be my year. So if things keep going and I keep getting these wins, I'm stacking wins on top of wins right now. And hopefully this is another one.
Ladies and gents, you can see that match, East versus West. It's coming. If you didn't know, RVJ will be pulling Zurab Tabaridze out there also. So huge matches. As I mentioned a moment ago, Paul Lynn, change of opponent. He's going to be pulling Sasho. Incredible card. We don't need to mention the other big matches on that card, but it is incredible. That's coming soon. Remember, in this month, for Arm Wars members, we have the Iron House 3 taking place at the end of March. Arm Wars channel members will get to see some of that action from that weekend inside the house. We'll also be making films from what goes on there as well. Agent of Chaos with a last-minute super chat. Daniel wins 100%. Oh, big fan of Daniel out there trying to put the doubt into the mind of Doug.
That's what I want. That's what everybody said about Ray too, but that's what I want. Look, there's no expectations, right? For me, I'm coming in with Daniel's supposed to beat me, right? He's supposed to beat me.
Yeah, so you'll be the underdog without a shadow of a doubt, mate.
Yeah, so
the pressure is
I'm
not
good.
There.
No pressure. I literally feel no pressure.
There.
I'm going to be just as calm as I was up there being the underdog on my last match. Like being the underdog, I'm good with it.
It can be a great thing, can't it? It can allow you to. It can allow you to just swing for the fences. You never do know, And there's blueprints out there. I mean, you've got stuff to work from.
Oh, I'm studying, and
Daniel.
And the thing is, you catch somebody. Everybody's been caught.
You're in contact with Mendigus, aren't you? Mendigus will probably be able to give you some advice in certain areas.
Me and Mindy have talked. I've talked with a few other guys that I've talked with Bozy, which he knows a little bit about him, and I've talked with quite a few of the guys that have called me, and when they found out I was pulling him and volunteered up a lot of data. So, I've got a lot of support out there, and I'm hoping to hit a home run. We'll see. I mean,
mate, I think a lot of people will be excited to see you arm wrestle out there, both you guys. I think there's a lot of love for you, and I think a lot of people will be really looking forward to seeing you both compete. I really do. I know I'm one of them. Can't wait. I think it'll be excellent. It's going to be a good time. And as I say, guys, we're going to shut the show down there. Thank you to everybody in the chat tonight. Thanks for taking time out to tune into The Fix. We will be back next Sunday night. If not before, in the interim, get yourself subbed to Rob Vidgett Jr., get yourself subbed to Doug. Go over, check out these guys' channel, give them some support. Thank you, everyone. We hope you and your families are all well. Please give us a like and a sub while you're here. And check out the Arm Wars channel as well, guys. Till then, see you soon. Biggity bong, mother fluffers.
Take care, guys.
All right, bro. Take care.